Hello, everyone. Good evening. Once more, we're here together to discuss and to talk about the topic I started previously, which is domestic violence. And we talked about how domestic violence can be in physical form, kind of a psychological form, economic, that is financial, or could also be, emotional, verbal. And we also discussed about the fact that it's possible that not only the female experience domestic violence. This is because statistically, women are the ones who are more viewed as victims of domestic violence. But we've come to understand that even men are also domestic violence victims. But most times such men don't report cases like this, and this is only just because um, it's quite embarrassing for a male to come out and say, "Oh, I've been beaten by my wife and I want to report." So we do have few cases like that do exist. Though I must say that in terms of physical domestic violence, it's actually the woman that suffers more, because naturally women are more delicate, and men are stronger. But for every rule there's the exception, and the exception is that you still find some men who are a bit delicate, and the women are stronger. In such situations is when you get possible domestic violence, physical one, on the man. But let's talk about the physical now. Statistically, like I said, the women face this more. And this act of domestic violence, it's something that a lot of women condone, which is wrong. It's something that we need to work on our mental state of mind to understand that condoning any form of domestic violence, it's very wrong. You set a wrong example for yourself, and if you have children, for your children. And also, it's not right to entertain this because you're putting your life at risk. Most women who face physical domestic violence end up either dead or, maimed for life. I don't need to say much about the renowned gospel artist. We all know her case. And everybody came out saying, but why didn't she speak out? If this was going on, what happened? A lot of things could have been the reason. This is why we want to discuss issues like this. What are the reasons behind domestic violence being condoned? Physical, let me be specific. Physical domestic violence being condoned by our female. Why? I give you one of the reasons. I've stated it before in my previous video when I talked about the woman in her respect or self-respect. When a woman does not have financial independence, if economically you are totally dependent on your husband, then if he is a good and wonderful man, you are covered and you won't have any issue. But if you have a husband or a partner who only uses this same financial dependency you have on him to threaten you, to make you do things, comply to things you maybe wouldn't naturally have wanted to do, to stop you maybe from even meeting with your friends or maybe even family members. I mean, so many things happen when a woman has no finance or financial capacity in her home. Well, we're not saying that you're in competition with your husband. You need to have financial capacity so that you take over the home. No, but you should be able to have something financially of your own. You must have a skill that should be able to bring you a form of finance. Let's assume your husband is saying, okay, I don't want a career wife. This is also assuming that you people have discussed this before, getting married. Because I think it's wrong if you have agreed with your wife to be that she will work and you are okay with her career, then after you get into the marriage, you turn around and say, no, I don't want you to work. That's totally unfair on her. And these are some of the ways that domestic violence starts, because the woman doesn't accept it, the man is angry, the beating begins. And after a while, to cower the woman, it continues. And now she's under that threat and she now accepts it. Other reasons why physical domestic violence can happen between a woman and a husband or partner. I keep saying partner, you wonder why? Because you see, it doesn't only happen with married couples. There are people who are, a bit liberal and they have living relationship, and they stay with their partner. They even have kids. So it's almost like a form of family, which is not exactly, but if you know what I mean. So these two can still stand as a form of domestic violence if the male counterpart, always threatens or beats up the female partner. So another thing again that can cause domestic violence is the fact physical domestic violence. I'll be emphatic about physical because next we'll take psychological and emotional. Physical domestic violence is that maybe throughout the courtship, the woman was not observant. If you are observant, any person who has a form of an angry temperament or has an attitude of not being able to bear corrections or take in anybody opposing to his thoughts, and the next thing is rage or beating, you would have seen those signs. There's this general adage that says character is like smoke, and that no matter how you try to hide it, it will definitely show. And that's what courtship period is about. The dating period is about you observing each other. It's about you trying out each other and begin to understand the temperament of the person you are getting married to. Because if you don't do this, at the end of the day, you are into this lifelong relationship. That's what marriage is supposed to be anyway. And then so much threat, so much beating. Sometimes physical domestic violence happens to the women when children comes in. Yes. So when they want to retaliate, or not even retaliate, more like when they want to resist or walk out, then there's a kind of emotional blackmail using the children. Then the woman is forced to stay back. Another thing that causes a woman to accept domestic violence physically is low self-esteem. Whenever you marry a man whom you don't see yourself worthy, or you feel you are less worthy of, you should be able to see yourself worthy of your husband and your husband worthy of you. If you begin to feel that, oh, this man has done me a favor, then you pay back for that favor. And physical domestic violence is one way you pay. Now, so many of these form of threats keeps a woman, they try to keep a woman under check. But at the end of the day, your life can be lost. My question in closing is to ask, is anything worth your giving up your life? Even the children that they used to threaten you, if you die, who takes care of them? So I want to speak to women generally today. If you are facing physical domestic violence of any type, please learn to speak up. There are so many NGOs, there are so many government organizations that can help out in such situation. We have the Legal Aid Council of the federal government in Nigeria. We have OPD in Lagos State here. So many, even if you are in any state in Nigeria, in Africa, I'm sure all these kind of NGOs, all these organizations that exist in there, Google is your friend. Google some of these things and find somebody to talk to. Don't die in silence. And before you say I'm a feminist, please, if you're a man, look for somebody to talk to, and you are going through physical domestic violence. Look for somebody to talk to so that you too do not end your life like that. Till I come next time, please, I need more comments. I need more questions. I need to hear from you people. What do you think about this thing? I want us to try and see what we can do. Somebody might just be watching this that really going through this and doesn't know what to do. So please comment and do subscribe and punch the notification button so that my next video you can get it easily. All right, bye bye, have a nice day.